Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. I am so happy you are here with us today. We have a very special session planned.
We do.
We're going to tackle a moment that, well, it happens to everyone. It happens in every country, in every language, and especially in business.
It's that moment that can make your hands sweat. It can make your heart beat just a little bit faster.
Exactly. It is that moment when you meet someone new. Maybe it's a job interview.
Or a party.
Maybe you're just stepping into an elevator, and the other person looks at you and says, "So tell me a little about yourself."
That question. It sounds so simple, right?
It does.
You know yourself better than anyone else in the world. But for some reason, when that question comes, our minds just, go blank. We freeze up.
Or we start talking too much. I have definitely been that person. I just start talking and, I can't stop.
That's very common. We call that rambling. Or some people go the other way. They become almost like robots.
Oh, I've seen that. They just recite their resume, their CV, line by line. Today, we are going to fix that. We have a mission. We want to take that scary, awkward moment and turn it into a golden opportunity.
That is right. We want to give you a shortcut. We want to help you build the perfect self-introduction. We'll look at how to do this in a formal job interview, how to do it in a fast elevator pitch.
And even at a casual party, which is a totally different skill.
It is. And since many of our listeners are learning English or working in international environments, we're going to keep things very clear and very simple today. We want to make sure you catch every single tip.
Absolutely. So we have a big stack of research to help us. We've got guides from Shopify on how to write a sales pitch.
We also have some great career advice from job banks, places like 104 and Urator.
And we even have some very honest, very real discussions from Reddit about how to, break the ice socially.
So we've got the business strategy and we have the real-world psychology. It's a great mix.
It is. So before we get into the how-tos, let's talk about the why. Why is this short introduction so important? Is it just about being polite?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think many people feel like it's just a formality.
Right. Just something you have to get through before the real conversation starts.
But it's so much more than that. It's actually about psychology. We have to look at the world we live in today. We live in an era of abundance.
Abundance. Okay, so that means we have too much of everything, right?
Exactly. We have too much information, too many emails, too many notifications on our phones, and, well, too many people trying to talk to us.
So attention is very scarce. It's hard to get people to really listen to you.
Attention is a limited resource. It's like gold. When you meet someone new, you are asking them to give you their gold. You're asking for their attention.
And the brain has a way of deciding if it should give you that attention or not.
Yes. There's a psychological concept called the primacy effect.
The primacy effect. Can you break that down for us? What does that mean in simple terms?
In simple terms, it means the brain pays the most attention to the first piece of information it receives. So think about meeting a new person. Your brain, specifically the part that controls emotions and safety, is judging them in seconds.
It happens so fast. We're thinking, is this person safe? Are they interesting? Are they useful? Or, are they boring?
Exactly. That first impression acts like an anchor. Imagine a boat. You drop the anchor into the water. If you drop a good anchor, if you seem confident and clear, the boat stays steady, and the rest of the conversation is easy.
But if you drop a bad anchor...
If you're confusing, or if you look nervous, you just drift away. And here's the scary part. Once that anchor is dropped, it's very, very hard to move it.
So you're saying if I start my introduction badly, the other person basically stops listening?
Yes. Their brain decides this person is not relevant. And then, even if you say something brilliant 5 minutes later, they might just miss it.
Wow. Okay, so that's why we call this a cognitive hook. We want to hook their memory. We want to make sure they remember you.
We want to create a hook so strong that they remember you 10 minutes later, or even 10 days later.
Okay, I love this idea of a cognitive hook. But how do we build it? We can't just say, hey, please remember me.
No, that would be a bit desperate. We need a structure. And we found a very strong framework in our sources, specifically from the 104 Job Bank. It's called the PPF model.
The PTF model. PPF. Okay, so this stands for past, present, and future.
That's correct. Past, present, and future. Now, usually when we tell a story, we start in the past, right? We say, I was born in 1990, and then I went to school.
That seems logical. Time moves forward. But you're saying that's the wrong way to do an introduction.
It is the wrong way. If you start with the past, you are making the listener wait. They are thinking, okay, but why are you telling me this? Who are you now?
I see. So we need to remix the timeline. We need to change the order.
Exactly. The recommended structure for a high-impact introduction starts with the present.
Okay, let's unpack this. We start with the present. How much time should we spend on this part?
Think of the present as your headline. It should be short, about, say, 10% of your total speaking time. This is where you say who you are right now.
So this would be my name, my current job title, and maybe one main skill. Is that it?
Yes, that's perfect. For example, hi, I'm Alex. I'm a senior software engineer specializing in mobile security.
That is very clear. It puts you in a box right away. I know exactly who Alex is.
Short and sweet. You establish your identity immediately. Now the listener is anchored. They have the context. They know what this conversation is about.
Okay, so we've anchored them in the present. Where do we go next? Do we jump to the future?
Not yet. Now we go back to the past. This is the biggest part of your introduction. It should be about 60 to 70% of the time.
Wow, 60 to 70%. So why do we spend so much time on the past?
Because the past is your evidence. You just told me you're a security expert. Now you have to prove it.
Ah, I see. So the present is the claim, and the past is the proof.
I love that. Present is the claim. Past is the proof. But here's a warning. You don't want to list everything you have ever done. You don't want to talk about your part-time job in high school.
Unless it's relevant, I guess.
Unless it's somehow very relevant, yes.
Yeah.
We call that the census taker approach, and we want to avoid that. We'll talk more about that mistake later.
Okay.
For the past section, you want to pick the highlights. Pick 2 or 3 key achievements that support your current role.
So sticking with our friend Alex, the engineer, he shouldn't just say, I went to university and then I got a job.
No, that's too boring. It has no impact. He should say something like, in my last role, I led a team that built a banking app used by 50,000 people. We reduced security breaches by 100%.
Now that is strong evidence. It tells me he's experienced and he's effective. He gets results.
Correct. So now we've done present, which was about 10%, and past, which was 60 to 70%. So we have about 20% left.
And that brings us to the future.
The future is the connection. This is the part people so often forget. They talk all about themselves, but they forget to connect it to the listener.
This is where we answer the question, why are you here? Or why are you talking to me?
Yes. Why are you in this room? Why are you talking to me? You need to connect your personal vision to the listener's needs or to the company's goals.
So Alex might say something like, I am looking to bring my security skills to a company that values innovation, which is why I'm so excited to be here today.
Perfect. Do you see the flow? 1, present, here's who I am.
2, past, here is the proof that I am good.
And 3, future, here is how I can help you.
It's a very robust framework. It works for interviews and it works for meetings. But, sometimes you don't have time for a full PPF introduction.
That is true. Sometimes you're just passing someone in a hallway, or the meeting is starting very, very fast.
And the sources from the 1111 Job Bank mention a shorter model for these moments. It's the who, what, want model.
This is a great tool for your emergency kit. It's stripped down to the absolute basics. First, who? Who are you? That's your identity.
Okay.
Second, what? What value do you bring? So what problems do you solve?
And the third part.
Third, want. What do you want? This is your call to action.
Okay, can we try an example? Let's say I'm a graphic designer.
Okay, let's try it. Who? I'm Sarah, a graphic designer.
Simple enough?
What? I help tech brands make their complex ideas look simple and beautiful.
And want. I'm looking to take on some freelance projects for your new campaign.
Yeah.
Wow, that took maybe, 6 or 7 seconds?
Very fast, but very clear. If I'm a manager who needs a designer, I know exactly what you do and what you want.
Simple, direct, and effective. I like that.
So now let's move into a specific high-pressure situation. The job interview. This is where the tell me about yourself question is most common.
And it's where people get the most nervous. The palms sweat, the mouth gets dry, all of that.
It's where the stakes are the highest. And the sources from Urator and 104 Job Bank, they emphasize one thing above all else here, and that is time management.
Time management is key. You can't just talk until you run out of breath.
No. If you talk for 10 minutes, you have probably lost the job before you even finish the first question.
So we found strategies for 3 different time limits, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and 3 minutes. Let's look at the 30-second version first.
Okay, so 30 seconds is basically a teaser. Think of it like a movie trailer. When you see a trailer for a new movie, does it tell you the whole story?
No, not at all. It just shows the explosions and the main character. It makes you want to see more.
Exactly. In 30 seconds, you cannot give your life history. You need your core tags. These are like keywords that describe you. You need your brightest data point, your biggest success, and a very clear purpose.
So no fluff, no I was born in a small town or anything like that.
Definitely not. It would sound something like this. I am a sales manager with 10 years of experience. Last year, I broke the company sales record. I'm looking for a new challenge in the international market.
That's fast, but it hits all the important points.
Right. Now, what if we have a bit more time? The 1-minute version. This is what we could call the standard introduction.
This is usually what happens when an interviewer sits back and says, so tell us about yourself. You have a little bit of room to breathe.
With 1 minute, you can add more detail. You can explain how you reach those achievements. You can add a little bit of flavor to the story. This is where you would use that full PPF model we discussed.
Okay. And then there's a 3-minute version. 3 minutes feels like a long time to talk about yourself.
It is a long time. This is the deep dive. You would only use this if they specifically ask for a detailed background, or maybe in a second round interview.
What goes into this version that isn't in the others?
Here, you can include more personal traits. You can tell a deeper story, a case study of your career. You can talk about your long-term career planning.
But even with 3 minutes, we have to be careful not to be boring. I always warn people against just using a list of adjectives.
Yes, the adjective soup.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very common mistake. People say, I am hardworking, creative, enthusiastic, and a team player.
It sounds nice, but anyone can say that. Even a lazy person can say, I am hardworking.
Exactly. It doesn't mean anything without proof. In English, we have a saying, show, don't tell. You need to prove your value. The best way to do that is the STAR method.
I love the STAR method. It makes telling a story so much easier. Let's break down the letters, S-T-A-R.
Right. So S stands for situation, or sometimes you'll see C for challenge. You have to set the scene. What was the problem? For example, don't just say, I'm a good problem solver.
Right.
Say, the website traffic was flat for 6 months.
Okay, that is the situation. It creates a little bit of tension. What's next?
A stands for action. This is the most important part. What did you do? Not what the team did, but what you did.
Right. You have to be the hero of your own story. So I implemented new SEO tools and rewrote the content strategy.
Exactly. And finally, R for result. What happened? And this is where we need to talk about something very important. Quantification.
Numbers.
Numbers. The human brain loves numbers. They feel like facts. They feel real. If you just say traffic grew, that's vague. Did it grow a little? A lot.
But if you say traffic grew by 25% in 3 months, that is a solid fact.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So using the STAR method, let's put it all together. When traffic was flat, situation, I used new SEO tools, action, and traffic grew 25% in 3 months, result.
That is so much stronger than just saying, I am a good marketer.
It's objective proof. The sources also mention a specific formula for this that is very powerful. It's, I used amount of budget to increase metric by %.
Oh, that sounds very professional. Like I used 70% of the marketing budget to increase revenue by 20%.
Yes, that one sentence shows you understand money, you understand efficiency, and you deliver results. It's a perfect sentence for a business interview.
Okay, so that covers the formal interview. But what about the business world outside of the interview room? What about the famous elevator pitch?
The elevator pitch. This concept is famous in business schools.
Yeah.
Imagine you step into an elevator. Suddenly, the CEO of a big company is there, or maybe a big investor.
And you have until the doors open on their floor to make them interested in you. So maybe 30 seconds.
Or about 75 words. It is very, very fast. We found a great guide from Shopify on how to build this pitch. They break it down into 8 steps.
8 steps sounds like a lot for a 30-second ride.
It does, but they happen very quickly. It's about the flow. Let's run through them. Step 1, the hook. You have to grab their attention. You can use humor, a surprising statistic, or a question.
Like, did you know that 75% of people hate their mattress?
Exactly. That gets my attention. I sleep on a mattress. Now I want to know more.
Huh.
Okay, so step 2, identity. Who are you? And step 3, business or mission. What do you do?
I am John from Sleepwell. We make mattresses for people with back pain.
Perfect. Step 4, target market. Who do you help? You just said people with back pain, so that's clear. Then, step 5, goals. What are you looking for?
Are looking for money? For a job? A partner?
Exactly. You need to be clear about what you want. Step 6, competition. This is an interesting one. You have to acknowledge you aren't the only one in the world, but then highlight your USP.
USP stands for unique selling proposition. What makes you different?
Unlike other mattresses, ours uses NASA technology to support your back.
There you go. That's the USP. What's next?
Step 7, call to action. What should they do next? Should they take your business card, schedule a meeting, and finally step 8, practice. You have to record yourself. You don't want to stumble over your words when the moment comes.
Practice is so key. Now, within this world of pitches, there is a specific template that I find fascinating. It's called the Pixar pitch.
Oh, I love this one. It's based on how Pixar movies like Toy Story or Finding Nemo are structured. It turns your pitch into a little story.
It has a very specific rhythm. Can we walk through the steps?
Sure. It goes like this. 1, once upon a time.
Okay.
2, every day. 3, one day. 4, because of that. 5,
Right.
until finally. And 6, now.
It sounds like a fairy tale, but it works for business.
It works beautifully for business because it creates emotion. The Shopify source gave a great example about a blogger named Andy. Let's tell Andy's story using this structure.
Okay, I'm ready. Once upon a time, there was a blogger named Andy. That's the context.
Right. Every day, he typed for hours and hours to meet his deadlines. That's the status quo, his normal life.
Okay.
One day, he developed severe wrist pain. This is the problem, the incident.
Oh, no, poor Andy. I can feel that.
Right. And because of that, he couldn't work, and he started losing clients. This is the challenge, the consequences.
Until finally he found a new ergonomic glove. This is the solution.
And then the happy ending. Now he works pain-free, and his business is growing again. This is the better reality.
That is so effective. It takes you on a journey. You feel Andy's pain, and then you feel the relief of the solution.
And if you are the person selling that ergonomic glove, you just sold it to me. Because I care about Andy now. Stories create empathy.
So we have covered the formal interview and the business pitch. But life isn't always about selling something. About social settings, parties, networking events.
This is where we have to shift gears completely. If you use the STAR method or the Pixar pitch at a casual party, people are going to think you are very strange.
Yeah, you don't want to be the person at the party handing out business cards and reciting sales numbers.
No, that makes people uncomfortable. The expert advice here, and a lot of this comes from community discussions on Reddit, is that in social settings, selling yourself is just too aggressive.
So what is the goal in a social setting then, if not to sell?
The goal changes to finding commonality.
Yeah.
You want to connect, not impress.
I like that. Connect, don't impress. So how do we reduce the awkwardness, especially that moment where everyone stands in a circle and has to say their name?
Ah, the circle of doom. Reddit users really hate that. The first tip is, if you are running the party, try to avoid that pressure. But if you're in it, use low-stakes topics.
And one of the best tips from the sources was using food as a connector. Food is the universal language.
It really is. Everyone eats. Everyone has an opinion on food. One suggestion was asking, what is your favorite potato preparation?
I love that. It's so silly, but everyone has an answer. Mashed potatoes, French fries, baked potato.
It makes people smile, triggers memories. Oh, my grandmother used to make the best mashed potatoes. And now you're having a real conversation.
Another one was, what is your death row meal? If you had one last meal, what would it be?
That tells you a lot about a person. It is low stakes, but it's very personal.
Another technique we saw was gamification, making the introduction into a game.
Yes. 2 truths and a lie is a classic. You say 3 things about yourself, 2 are true, 1 is a lie, and the group has to guess which one is the lie.
That turns the introduction into a puzzle. It's fun. It's not so serious.
Another one I really liked was this or that. You make people physically move. If you like cats, go to the left side of the room. If you like dogs, go to the right.
Oh, that's great. The physical movement wakes people up, and it creates instant tribes. Oh, you're a cat person too, and suddenly you have a connection.
There was also a very thoughtful tip for managers. It's called pre-boarding.
Pre-boarding, what is that?
Before a new team member even arrives at the office for their first day, you ask them how they like to be introduced.
That is very smart and very respectful.
It is. Some people are shy, they hate being the center of attention. Other people love the spotlight. Asking them beforehand shows respect and makes them feel safe.
Okay, so we have the content, the PPF model, the STAR method, the potato questions, but we also need to talk about how you say it, the delivery.
Delivery is huge.
Yeah.
You can have the best script in the world, but if you look at the floor and you mumble, it's just not going to work.
Let's start with the smile strategy.
This is fascinating. There was a story from the medical industry on Reddit. A surgeon was very, very good at his job, but his patients didn't like him.
Why not? Was he mean to them?
No, he just had a neutral face. He was concentrating. But the patients interpreted his neutral face as a negative face. They thought he was angry or bored.
That's the resting neutral face problem. If you aren't actively smiling, people sometimes think you're unhappy.
Exactly. So he started forcing himself to smile when he entered the room, even if it felt fake at first. And it changed everything. Patients relaxed. They trusted him more.
And the source called this sunshine versus storm cloud.
Yes. In the workplace, colleagues rate approachable people, the sunshine people, higher for promotions. We like to work with people who make us feel good.
So smiling is actually a career strategy. It's not just about being friendly.
Absolutely. And it affects your voice, too. When you smile, your voice sounds warmer, more inviting.
What about eye contact?
Eye contact is crucial for trust. In many cultures, especially in English-speaking business cultures, looking someone in the eye means you are honest. If you look away, you can look like you are hiding something.
And your voice tone. We don't want to be a robot.
No, don't be monotone. A great tip is to pause after a big number. So instead of rushing, you say, I increased sales by 20%.
Let it sink in.
Exactly. That silence adds weight to the words. It's very powerful. And finally, posture.
Right.
Stand with a straight back. Use open gestures. Don't cross your arms. Crossing your arms signals, I am closed. You want to signal, I am open.
All right, we are nearing the end of our deep dive. We have talked a lot about what to do. Now, let's talk about what not to do. The NG list, the no good list.
The common mistakes. We see these all the time. First up is the census taker.
The census taker. This is the person who lists boring facts, like, I was born in 1990, my blood type is O, my father is an accountant.
Unless you are applying for a job where your blood type matters, this is just noise. It's irrelevant information. Remember, attention is scarce. Don't waste it on boring facts.
Okay, what's next? The robot.
This is when you recite your resume word for word. I graduated in 2010. Then I worked at company A. Then I worked at company B. They already have your paper resume. They can read. They want to know the person, not just the paper.
That makes sense. Third is the beggar.
This is a mindset mistake. It's when a candidate says, I am here to learn.
But wait, isn't learning a good thing? I want to learn. Sounds humble.
It sounds humble, but to a hiring manager, it sounds passive. It sounds like you are saying, I am here for you to teach me. I am here to take your resources.
Ah, I see. It sounds like a student, not a professional. So instead of I am here to learn, what should we say?
You want an active mindset. Say, I'm here to contribute, or I'm here to use my skills to help you grow. It's much more powerful.
It is. Okay, number 4 is the complainer.
This is a big one. Never, ever badmouth a previous employer, even if your old boss was terrible. If you complain, the interviewer just thinks, if we hire this person, they will complain about us next year.
It's a major red flag. Just say it wasn't a good fit and move on. And finally, the humble brag balance.
This one is tricky. You don't want to be arrogant and say, I am the best genius in the world, but you also don't want to be too humble and say, oh, I don't really know anything.
So how do we find that balance in the middle?
You focus on facts. Facts are neutral. Saying, I increased sales by 20% is not bragging. That is a fact. Facts keep you safe and objective.
Facts are your best friend.
Exactly.
So let's summarize what we've learned today. From that 30-second elevator ride to the formal interview, the key is preparation and structure.
Use the PPF model, past, present, future, to organize your thoughts. Use the STAR method to prove your value with stories and with numbers. And remember to shift your strategy when you are in a social setting. You want to connect, not sell.
And don't forget the smile. It is the cheapest and most effective tool you have.
Absolutely.
Now, before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought. We found a beautiful example in the source material from Timing Asia. It's about the hook technique, but using story versus just connection.
This is the wanton story, right? This one really stuck with me.
It did. It shows the difference between a job description and a human mission. So, imagine you work for a food delivery platform app. You could introduce yourself by saying, I am an editor for a delivery platform.
Okay, that's a fact, but it's a little bit boring.
Now listen to this version. One night, my mother was sick in another city. I was really worried because I couldn't be there to cook for her. But I used our platform to order hot wontons from her favorite shop and had them delivered to her door in 30 minutes. She sent me a photo of the steam rising from the bowl. That is why I work here. I want to help people care for their families, even from far away.
Wow, that is powerful. I have goosebumps. It turns a simple job into a mission about love and care.
And if you tell me that story, I will never forget you. That is the ultimate cognitive hook.
It connects on a much deeper human level.
So that is our challenge to you, the listener. What is your wanton story?
What is that human moment, that emotional moment that explains why you do what you do? Dig deep. Find that story.
And once you find it, practice it. Record yourself on your phone. Make that 30-second commercial for yourself. You never know who you might meet in an elevator tomorrow.
It could be your next big opportunity. You have to be ready.
Thank you so much for listening to this deep dive. We hope you feel ready to answer that scary question. Tell me about yourself.
You've got this. Good luck.
See you next time.